you can only watch it for the first time once.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting to see what we catch and what we don't.
Did you ever play the video game Mass Effect?
This is where Babylon 5 is becoming Babylon 5.
That was great. I love that.
100% completely accurate, definitive ranking of Babylon 5.
I love it so much.
We're officially into it, Jeff.
The year is 2025. The name of the podcast, Babylon 5, for the second time.
Welcome to Babylon 5 for the second time. My name is Brent Allen.
And I'm Jeff Akin. Brent and I used to be Star Trek podcasters until we watched Babylon 5 for the first time, and then everything changed. Right now, we're watching this incredible series for the second time, catching all those things that we didn't know were there the first time around.
And we're still searching for those sci-fi messages we find in the series. We like to define those as things like giving us hope that things can be better in the future, giving us a mirror to society, or just showing us how people can be better human beings to one another. But one thing we should tell you is that from this point forward, everything is on the table to be discussed. That's right. Anything from any point in Babylon 5, the franchise, any of the material regarding Babylon 5, we could discuss that at any moment in any part of this episode. So if you are on your first journey, please be warned, this is full of spoilers. The good news for you, though, is we have the perfect thing for you to go back. Go back and join us on our first watch, Babylon 5 for the first time. That is completely full of no spoilers. In fact, our incredible community did such a good job of keeping us in this bubble that Jeff and I really were able to make it all the way through unspoiled, and so can you. Join us over there, and when you get through that journey, trust me, it's worth it. When you get through that journey, catch up with us over here.
Today we're going to be watching the episode Survivors for the second time. I can remember some of my first thoughts and reactions to this one in a word, or like 3 words. Hated it. Really did not like this episode. You can see standing behind you, Major Liana Kemmer, middle name Wooden, just not great. Do you remember what you thought about this first time around?
My note that I have here is I was very ho-hum about this episode, and I don't know that I really was that ho-hum. I might have really not liked this episode as well. I don't fully remember. I do remember being incredibly intrigued and loving the Garibaldi being an addict storyline. I thought that was new. I thought it was really fresh. I thought it was really refreshing to see representation for an addict in a show, and felt like it was being done very, very well. But the guest star in this episode just really tears the whole thing down. And I just remember my impression is everything else in this episode just feels like a bottom level 90s season 1 90s sci-fi season 1 type of an episode. It's not an episode I'm ever going to look to revisit. And even looking back on it now, I still don't want to revisit it, but I can see how it is laying the groundwork for Garibaldi's story later on, and does a lot of established and growth character and all that sort of stuff, as many not great episodes of sci-fi tend to do with their characters.
You want to know what you actually said?
I would love to know what I actually said.
So I went back and listened to our first time episode, and a couple highlights from that is you said exactly what you just said. This one very much reminds me, this is season 1 of mid-90s sci-fi. Ultimately, I ended up liking Garibaldi a lot more as a result of this episode. You had 2 things that kind of cracked me up as a veteran Babylon 5 enjoyer. Now, these things you said really cracked me up. One was, I wonder if JMS or Jerry Doyle had any idea that Garibaldi was an alcoholic when they came into this. Like, it was just
we know the answer to that now, though.
We do, exactly.
The answer is no, he didn't. And he made him that way because Jerry Doyle was. And here's the thing, and this is going to be the craziest thing that we've got to keep in front of our mind. You and I very much were under the impression that Jerry Doyle was in recovery as an addict, even though and the truth is he wasn't. He was very much in the throes of his addiction. Yeah. From what I understand from JMS's autobiography, throughout the run of the whole show.
Pretty much.
And this is JMS and whomever, does JMS write this episode?
I think so, but I don't remember. I didn't look.
Sorry, JMS, not your best at work, but you're doing it for your boy, and I very much appreciate that. He's writing this, putting these words in Jerry Doyle's mouth, and that's phenomenal to think of it that way.
You were very afraid that they were going to mid-90s sci-fi this and just kind of forget about his alcoholism. Like, get to the end of the episode and we just wouldn't visit it again.
Yep.
Which makes sense.
Mm-hmm. It's a good thing to be worried about, but I'm glad I didn't have to be.
Exactly. Was there anything cool in the Lurker's Guide on this one?
Not much.
No.
I don't know that I've seen a Lurker's Guide set of notes that have been as scant as this particular episode. Wow. I've got 3 notes for you, though.
Okay.
I guess this is in regards to an existing conversation about whether how they were using CGI with their sets and the stuff. And he says, we've already begun integrating virtual sets with real ones. As an example, in the next to last shot of this episode, someone is entering a ship in the docking bay, and the only real object in that room aside from the actor is a ladder. Everything else is CGI, but you can't tell. Oh. Now, I want to put that one to the test. I think that is actually Kemmer getting back into the ship. Okay. At the end of the episode. I want to put that one to the test, and I want to see if we can tell how much that is, because I've got a feeling that on our even on the smaller screen that we're watching here on our app here, I feel like we're probably going to be able to tell, but we'll see.
I think so.
We'll see. Yeah. Regarding him talking about alcoholics, JMS writing for alcoholics. He says this, what do I know about alcoholics to portray them? Well, aside from a degree in clinical psychology and some internship work in this area, I come from a family with alcoholism going back at least 4 generations, and I'm talking heavy duty alcoholism. I am, in fact, the first male Straczynski in my branch of this particular stunted tree not to have this problem.
Stunted tree.
Now listen, think about this. This was written back in the 90s. He didn't write Becoming Superman until the late teens, to the late 2000 teens. And it's interesting knowing that story, hearing him say this way back when. Yeah. You know, as a point to our thing about Luis Santiago, JMS confirms, talking about the Earth First, Luis Santiago's playing it both ways. That's what he's doing. He's playing it both ways, playing politics. So
we were like, he got elected to a second term. And so once he was elected, he's like, just going to do whatever I want.
Yep. So anyway, that's it, Jeff. That's all I had from JMS.
Okay. Well, we'll see what we get in this episode because Brent, it's time. Let's watch this bad boy.
Let's get into it.
If you're joining us for the first time and you haven't watched our first time reaction or you have not watched the episode, please pause this, leave it on, go do that, come back, and then you can watch this because we're going to watch it right here, right now, in real time. If you've joined us on YouTube, you're going to see kind of the edited up reaction style video of this. But if you want the full thing, the unedited version, all the mistakes that we haven't made at all in this particular recording, and just everything that happens in the whole piece, you can get that at our Patreon page over at patreon.com/Babylon5First, the number 5 and the word first.
And listen, if you're listening to this on an audio podcasting app, we're going to meet you on the other side where we're going to share our thoughts. We're going to talk about messages, and stick around because you two are going to get to hear those reactions, just not necessarily see them.
Accessing file.
Has the president's staff given us his itinerary yet?
I like how they're hanging on to the handrail.
No one knows his plan to the last minute.
Sure, that way they can blame us if something goes wrong.
Exactly.
Because it's a low gravity area. I hope they're washing their hands.
You know what? Right?
If you ask me,
somebody's getting a
whole damn luau's a waste of time and money.
Well, we are getting a new fighter wing out of this luau.
Cobra Bay Zone. Watch your step, please. Blue Zone, next stop.
Stand by. We'll be right back. Are you ready to take your Babylon 5 for the first time experience to the next level? With our exclusive Patreon, you'll get access to all kinds of cool stuff that you can only find there. Our recording notes, unedited reaction videos, an exclusive Discord community. And you can even be listed as a producer of the show. Plus, we even offer exclusive meet and greets and hangouts. You won't find this kind of experience anywhere else. Get all these amazing benefits, plus the opportunity to interact with other fans from around the world. It's being part of a huge community where everyone shares the same appreciation for Babylon 5. Subscribe at patreon.com/Babylon5First. That's the number 5 and the word first to get access to these incredible benefits. That's patreon.com/Babylon5First. We can't wait to see you there. I wonder if the guy who runs the Cobra Bay zones is called the Cobra Commander.
What the hell?
Cobra Bay 12 explosion!
Oh my God.
One person flew out.
Dude, that person is fully intact. They're in a suit.
They're in a suit.
Grab a Star Fury. Go get them.
You can literally see like the little oxygen pack.
He's fine. Just go get him.
I never rule out sabotage. But those crews are inexperienced, and they've been working
Really
around
like
the clock,
Sabotage.
inviting an
What a
accident.
great band.
Until I can do better than a guess,
It's a great song.
Sinclair.
Major Liana Kemmer
About their
President's
sound
security staff
guy.
has arrived. She requested
It's a
immediate
song about their
treatment
sound
of
guy.
Isn't that's nuts.
I love it.
Security Central.
Oh, look at that look on his face. He's like,
Go.
I mean, at this point, all we really know about Garibaldi is from that
You know this
reporter
Major Kemmer?
that he's got a
17 years ago.
questionable
Dad was a
past.
friend. She was a real sweet kid.
As Chief of Presidential Security, I have the authority to take over this investigation with or without your permission.
Let her have it. I've got better things to do.
Soundtrack's working hard right here because I got.
Is this our guy, like Christopher Frank or whatever his
Yeah.
name was?
Garibaldi.
It's having
Can
to
you-
pick
can
up
you-
everything though that Kemmer couldn't deliver.
What's going on between you and this Major?
It's personal. 17 years ago, I was working security for the ice mining operation on Europa. Ever try and uphold the law when nobody cares? After a few weeks, I started drinking hard just to get through the night. Then I met Frank Kemmer. He was a shuttle pilot on a Jovian moon run.
Did you see some sunsets?
Jovian
decent guy.
Sunset.
When the job got tough, I'd spend time with him and his family. That's when I first met Liana. Uncle Mike, she used to call me. With all the madness, it kept me sane and sober for a while.
What happened?
I was starting to make a dent in the rackets. It got under somebody's skin. Instead of coming at me head on, they rigged a shuttle pad. Frank was bringing in the last run of the day. Just as he touched down, it blew.
I'm sorry.
They had it all figured, pinned it on my negligence. But none of that was as bad as telling Frank's family what had happened.
And why?
Liana didn't even cry.
Because she's not capable of expressing
She
emotion.
just died inside.
And you?
I crawled back into the bottle.
Okay, here's what I love, right? Because knowing what's coming up, they just told us what's happening in the rest of this episode. Big explosion, gets pinned on Garibaldi, has nowhere to retreat to except the bottle. That's the episode. Let's say we call it good. They just told us what's going to happen. We don't have to watch the rest. Mia, she died inside because we couldn't get an actress who can act. They just explained everything. It's great.
Right.
Nolan, do you hear me? I'm Major Liana Kemmer. I want to know about the explosion in Cobra Bay 12.
No accident. Bomb.
Who was behind it, Nolan?
They're trying to revive Nolan. They'll kill him.
Get out of my way, or by God, I'll shove you out the nearest airlock.
Fine.
That was okay.
I'm still going to be mad about it.
Who was behind it, Nolan?
I'm the guy. Get out of my way. Okay.
That
God.
accident was deliberate, Commander, and this man knows who's responsible. Who planted the bomb?
It was Garibaldi.
I remember even back then going, bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, you just used your last breath to frame somebody. Come on, dude. Now, cue the episode where, all right, now we got to place Garibaldi under arrest because what
He
this
was
one
lying.
dude said.
Why would a dying man lie?
No.
I busted him a few months ago for trashing an alien shop. He had it in for
There
me.
you go.
And our initial scans show no trace of a bomb.
In light of the President's arrival, I will assume command of security in his place.
Oh, give me a break, will you?
Presidential authority gives me the right, Commander.
I don't care if you have the right or not. You're not doing this. Go away.
Is this
Get
the
off
first
my station?
I say, is this the first Earth Force person who comes on who's just like clearly evil? I mean, she's not, but like the way she's acting.
She's overstepping everything. Like, and see, that's what I feel like. Like,
Your security authorization.
like this is where Sinclair needs to be like, yeah, here's why that's not going to work. Yeah. Although the right move for Garibaldi is to remove himself from this investigation.
Right? Yeah. Like the fact he just handed his stuff over and went, that's good. Here you go. Here's my gear. I'll be in my quarters.
Sorry, Chief.
You got Lou?
You got space happy?
That's
Lou?
Lou.
This is my place.
It's under seizure.
I forgot all
miss
about Lou.
Lou.
Yeah.
I never forget all about Lou.
Talk.
I don't think
That's
so.
it. Remember Lou.
No.
That's forget Byron. F Byron. Remember Lou.
Remember
That's
Lou.
the guy we need to remember.
Go find out what the scanning team has turned up.
Next time, Garibaldi.
Welch.
The scan showed traces of C-15 in the burn residues, and Chang found schematics of the Cobra Bay
If I were guilty, why would I leave the evidence in my own quarters?
Maybe you just made another mistake, just like you did 17 years ago. Mr. Cutter, take Mr. Garibaldi into custody.
And by the way,
conspiracy to commit
the
sabotage.
correct move would be for Liana to remove herself, given her personal nature.
With
And
Garibaldi.
recuse herself.
It's always the smartest thing to do, when you're being falsely
Cancel that
accused of
alert.
something, is to just run away.
I have hard evidence that Garibaldi is part of this sabotage. I want him in custody before the president arrives.
This is my station, and it's time you realize that. Lieutenant Commander Ivanova, escort Major Kemmer off the observation dome.
With pleasure.
You are going to resist, I hope.
Great Ivanova line.
That look on her
Great.
face.
Uh-huh.
She's going to call her center.
I really want, she really needed to
It'll buy
walk
me a
her
little
out.
time.
Yeah.
To do what?
Find Garibaldi before Kemmer and her hounds do.
I gotta say, I'm not
Station
like
1.
so bad on Kemmer's
Next
acting,
level
so
6
it's not
maintenance
great.
check on all off-station
But it
communications.
hasn't been
That
offensive.
opening scene,
Lieutenant Commander,
but everything
double
else
check
has been very,
communications
but it's
for
been
hours.
very,
Yes, I believe it will.
she's a monotone character so far.
She is, but also they literally explained that, She suppressed it all when her dad died. Like, they gave a reason for it. And she's very military at this point, just very by the book.
Well, we gave Sinclair a second chance, so.
So maybe.
Someone's trying to frame me for the explosion in the Cobra Bay. Planted a schematic of the bay and a pouch of Centauri ducats in my quarters.
Ducats, actually.
Mr. Garibaldi, do you really think that I would do such a thing to you, my good and dear
Good
friend?
and dear friend.
In a minute.
You're right, but I didn't. Though I may have an idea who
I gotta
did.
tell you, Jeff, nothing in this world will ever replace me hearing Peter Jurasik say, Brent, my dear and good friend.
Yeah.
That's such a cool feeling, man.
That was incredible.
Hearing him say that in that voice, oh my word. Oh, thank you to everybody who participated in making that happen. That just warms my heart. Probably, Jeff, that's a
Lieutenant
top
Commander,
2
why are all
favorite
comm
memory
channels to
for
Earth
me.
offline?
Oh, I
This whole
bet.
journey.
We wouldn't
Yeah.
want the president
really
to be out
is.
of touch when he gets here.
I demand you open a channel to Earth at once.
I'm a lieutenant commander in Earth Force, Major. I do not take demands. If you have a request, I'll consider it.
Very well, then. I request.
See, this
You
is
open a channel
how
to Earth Dome.
Sinclair
Request denied.
should be responding to Kimmer the entire time.
The whole time. Yeah, Ivanova's got it.
Yeah, or he just needs to step aside and let
She
Ivanova
and
take
Sinclair
it.
are doing everything they can to protect Garibaldi.
No surprise. According to our files, they're about his only friends. Them and the Centauri ambassador.
So how would your car get his hands on a load of Centauri ducats?
You could ask him yourself, except, however, getting into the ambassadorial wing requires high-level clearance, which I believe you no longer have. 500 Centauri ducats. That should buy
He
you
said
whatever
ducats.
you need.
You're being awfully generous. Any particular reason?
You're a very suspicious man, Garibaldi. But yes, there is a reason.
One day I'm going to
We
come
are
to you
alike,
and need a favor.
you and I.
This is also the first done, though.
You're all right, Londo.
If they catch you, I will deny everything.
It's the first time we've seen him sit down and have
Good luck.
just a buddy conversation sort of thing.
They only have 3 in the whole series.
But they're big,
Good luck.
especially in the deconstruction of Londo Mollari. You can chart that with his relationship with Garibaldi.
Sure.
We've locked horns before. Maybe you saw this as a chance to even the score.
Granted, it's not a bad idea, but I didn't think of it. And I didn't do it. Every Centauri ducat that Mollari's people contributed to the non-government has been accounted for. Oh, you could serve us in any number of ways. Analyst, security expert, cryptographer.
You want me to betray my own world?
Without your position, this station is not safe for you. You have made many enemies.
Call it a lifestyle.
It's what I do. Make enemies, watch Duck Dodgers.
We'll see.
Yeah, it's fun how they become such close friends, their whole thing.
Welcome to Babylon 5.
Jeff, are you bored?
Yeah, I am.
Me too.
Yeah.
Can this episode hurry up?
People will likely notice that, if they're on YouTube, it's going to skip ahead half an hour because we're just not pausing and talking about anything. This didn't even have to happen. If he hadn't run off,
Right.
and I don't know. Yeah, Nia in the chat, Frankie putting in the work. For real, he's carrying this episode. I like how we have Chekhov's petty criminal from earlier.
Uh-huh.
Let's do it.
All right, so what do we got here? We got Drazi and Bakiri. Why is it those are the two that are always getting it mixed up? They're always looking for somebody to beat up. Dude, this would be a great place for sword-wielding Jakar to come in.
Yes!
You know what I mean?
Jump down.
Uh-huh.
Dude, how... freaking long are they just going to keep doing this? Like, my God. This is literally an 18-minute long episode. They're stretching. So much stretching.
I'm just entertaining myself over here right now, Jeff.
Thanks, pal.
The what hat? Take bottle. Huh?
That's where it all starts to fall apart.
I go casino.
Garibaldi giving Yelp's first review.
Hell, what?
This is actually where the word Yelp came from for that.
Topside. Well, boys and girls, it's been a...
Dude, we still have that kind of a lamp.
I know.
Like,
I'm just waiting outside the bar for you.
Commander Sinclair ordered me to search Nolan's quarters. I found these.
do you think he's of the Welch's grape family?
I do, actually.
And the pamphlets? They're home guard stuff.
Oh, home guard.
We had a little trouble with them a while back.
Because in 2187, if you'll remember, there was the Welch's grape plague that occurred that wiped out the vineyards. A bunch of people got real sick. They fell from grace, and so like here he is, 80 years later, he has no choice but to like get a security job.
I mean, that's what happened to my family from way back in the day.
Yeah.
That's why, we have castles all over Europe. They're just owned by other people.
They're just other people got it. Yeah. I mean, and it sucks too. Like all the security briefings and stuff, people like make jokes about it and they're like, hey, anybody want some grape juice? And Lou's like, God, that just hurts so bad. The untold story of Lou Welch.
Ollie cleared it up.
Ben says that whenever we see Santiago, he's only in stills, and it's actually Doug Netter.
It is him.
That,
yeah.
Is it?
It is.
Did you know that? I didn't know that. That's fun.
Read that somewhere.
He didn't know they'd be using a plasma driver in the bay. It created just enough vibration to trigger the bomb prematurely.
It's a possibility, but what about motive?
President, baby.
They say the president's going to announce free alien immigration and trade policies.
General Netter wants to know if all is secure.
Make sure all our people are in place and tell General Netter.
I wonder if there was a bet
okay.
as to how many times they could say Netter in an episode.
You're still a suspect, Garibaldi.
That he did say
Sorry,
something
have
in
you
the
checked the
Lurkers
base
Guide
yet?
about that. Like,
Affirmative.
they kind of went in on it, like,
Start
as
the
a
bay
joke,
access
and
until
they had
the fighters are launched
to
to
really
keep
pull
alert.
it back, otherwise it would just become obnoxious.
Yeah, that's right up.
I'd like to believe you,
getting there.
Michael, but this supposition of yours doesn't explain how that evidence got in your quarters. Nobody knew Nolan had named you except you, me, Dr. Franklin, and Commander Sinclair.
And Cutter, who was there just when the evidence against me was found.
Cutter is one of our best
But his
agents.
name is Cutter, Liana. Come on.
Well, did you not see him? He went the, "Hey, get out of my way." Okay.
Did you see his haircut, for God's sake?
Right?
Just to be sure.
He's a worse actor than you are. Like, come on.
Be smart, Cutter. You can't pull this off.
I already have, Garibaldi.
Yes, I can.
I'm gonna take my eyes off of you while holding my hand up.
Begin countdown at T-minus
Did you see
30
what? Did you see what Garibaldi did? He full on did the Karate Kid.
Yeah, crane technique. Crane technique. No can defend. He called her Ivanova.
Ivanova? What?
Abort the drop! Ivanova!
Lose, wise guy.
Ivanova! Stop it! Ivanova!
Just do it!
Freeze count.
Why didn't she do that like 6 counts ago?
How you feeling?
Like I just made love to a meteor shower.
Yeah.
Well, don't let him con you, Commander. You may not look pretty, but...
Kink life looks a lot different in the late 23rd century.
Thanks a lot, Doc.
We found charges on all the bay doors. If they had opened, we would have lost the whole wing and half the station with it. We also checked on Cutter. Seems someone on Earth deposited 100,000 credits into an account in his name an hour after Nolan named you. He withdrew it here and...
Centauri ducats, which he planted in my quarters. Very smooth.
But not smooth enough, Michael.
Oh, this is going to be the scene, I think.
Everything going all right with the president's visit?
Yes, thanks to you. The president's even talking about citations for all concerned.
Oh, look, now her hair's
If you
all
could land me
out.
on my own turf, you might just have a
fluffy
career
and-
in this game.
I wasn't out for justice, I was out for blood.
This is not a bad acting gig right here from her.
I agree.
When the machines, Liana.
Like I get
hurt,
it.
lash out.
Earlier, she's
No excuse
bottled
for what I
up
put
and
you
she's
through.
whatever, and she's
It's not
trying to
about
get that
excuses.
out. But
17 years ago, we
there's
both died inside.
been nothing about her this
Somehow
whole
we survived.
this whole episode that has been in charge,
worse, that's
commander,
all we can do.
head of security.
Survive and
Like she could even come close
one
to
day.
standing toe to toe with Michael Garibaldi.
Right?
forget
Yeah.
how much it can
You know
hurt
what I
to be
mean?
human.
Like it's just not been there. And
Kemmer here.
She's like a little girl playing
Right there.
in a suit that's too big for her.
Yeah.
Is what it's felt like so far.
We've got to get set up for the president's next stop. I'll see you the next time the president visits.
Yeah, Katerina says the hair
He's
is
fond of
kind of the
Babylon
indication
5,
that she's a little more relaxed
sure
now
nothing
and stuff
happens
like
to
that.
him.
Absolutely, Katerina.
Yeah,
I think
we
that's
need all the
exactly
friends we
what
can
that's.
get.
I picked up on that. I just wasn't trying to dive into it, but yeah, I think it's exactly what that is. I'm glad she didn't kiss him there. Just give him a hug.
Yeah. This
Let
could
him
have
be Uncle
gone.
Mike.
This could have gone a really rough direction.
Well, she's an adult now.
Yeah, still.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't care if she's adult or not. That's Michael should never ever see her as anything other than that little girl.
Yeah, she's your buddy's little girl. Like,
that right there. That's it right there. The ladder is the only. Her and the ladder are the only real thing. Everything else is CGI. That looked great.
It really did. You know what?
That looked
Stand
great.
by. It really does look good.
I'm so glad you didn't screw up that right
I
there.
know.
Look at that. He's right. You can't tell. It's the ladder and the actor. Everything else is CGI.
Looks really good.
That looks really good.
That might be the best CG in the whole episode.
Outside of the station, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm still gonna say about that station looking so good.
Well, Brent, we just got through Survivors for the second time. Surprisingly, I didn't know if we were going to make it. What do you got?
Oh, what a long episode.
It really was.
What a long episode. I mean, I feel about this exactly as I felt before, you know. I think we could have a whole discussion based on addict life and what that is. But we've already had that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
We had it the first time around, so I don't necessarily feel the need to rehash it all here. I will say one thing that I absolutely loved though in this episode was the way that Sinclair treated Garibaldi at the end.
Yeah.
You know, he did not sit in judgment of Garibaldi after he fell off the wagon. He spoke truth to him and he let Garibaldi be where he was and called him up to be better, you know, and showed Garibaldi who he really is, which is not somebody who lives inside the bottle, but somebody who lives outside the bottle. And I really, really loved it. Outside of that, I mean, yeah, it's just an episode I don't need to watch very often at all, if ever. I think I've softened a little bit on the actress's job of Liana Kemmer in this, just understanding the growth of her character from the beginning of the episode to the end of the episode, seeing that a little bit better right now, as represented by her hair. I mean, look at the picture of her over my shoulder here for the audio folks who are not seeing this. It is an image of her from the very beginning of the episode. I think it's right when we first meet her and they walk in the room. Her hair is tight and pulled back behind her head, and her shoulders are squared and her chin is up and all that sort of stuff, versus at the end when everything's down and her hair is styled and crimpled and all that. Like, that just represents the growth of her character from the beginning to the end and the softening of her towards Michael Garibaldi at the end. And I've softened on that a little bit with her. I think we saw that she does act. She does know how to act, or she can act, as she did there at the end. But I feel I'm the same way. You know, I can't say I hate this episode, but I don't like this episode at all. How about you, Jeff?
I will say that I'm in a similar spot to you with Kemmer's acting. I think it was fine, actually. Like, given that they kind of explained that out a little bit, and at first I was being facetious about, they actually told us, but they actually did. And that was actually the story, was like her working through that stuff and then being like, it is actually okay, Michael. Like, I can grieve now. You know, like, if Star Trek Discovery did this episode, 32 minutes of it would have been her crying when she finally had the emotional release that she'd been holding on to since Europa. Which wouldn't have been bad. And I also want to say that, like, just like, again, like you, I freaking love Sinclair. Like, right. There's so many.
Who would have thought we'd be saying that?
I know.
Going into the second one.
100%. I'm like, we're going to do the second time, and I'm going to be lighter on him because I understand what's going on, but I'm not going to like him or whatever. He's freaking amazing. The character is great. The acting is, like we talked about last time, like, it's adequate. If a couple of moments are actually great. Yeah.
I think he's good, not great as an actor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Michael O'Hare is very good as an actor. There's a reason he got this job, and he does pull off a lot of who Sinclair is supposed to be. But again, I go back to I don't remember what episode it was. It was several weeks ago now, Jeff, where we're talking about we just never got connected to Sinclair, and it wasn't until episode 5, 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there where we're like, now we have a connection to this guy.
Yeah.
Where we get him and we understand him, and it should have happened a lot sooner.
It should have, but he was awesome in this episode. Other than that, dude, I was bored out of my mind. Me
too.
I don't want to say this was a god awful episode, but this was not a good episode. When we watched it the first time, we said that it accomplished what it set out to do, but now I'm like, I don't know that it really did, because I think what it set out to do was give some complexity to the character of Michael Garibaldi, and then kind of move us closer to it making sense when Earth Force One gets blowed up and Santiago gets assassinated.
Right.
But freaking A, man, it would have taken 8 minutes to do those two things. And yeah, not great. We didn't talk about it during the episode. Did you get any messages in this thing?
I mean, again, we could really discuss the whole addict thing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot there to chew on. But here's the thing. This is an incomplete story right now.
Yeah.
Because you and I both know where Garibaldi and the story of Garibaldi goes, particularly in season 5. But, it's just too early to really dive into it and really discuss it, because other episodes have this discussion about being an addict so much better later on.
Yeah.
I think the best thing, if I could pull anything out of it, is be careful where you place your guilt, whether it's on yourself or somebody else. Garibaldi was holding guilt on himself. Kemmer was holding guilt on Garibaldi.
Yeah. And it belonged to neither.
It belonged to neither. Although the object was Garibaldi in both situations, but they both had the guilt misplaced. I think we could talk about that. You could pull that as a message, really. What it means to always be on the side of whom you consider family, whether that's the family you choose or the family you don't choose.
Mm-hmm.
To stick by and stand up for your family. I think there's maybe something for that, although that's not a ubiquitous message that should be followed without reservation. A
lot of shades of gray there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't really have a whole lot there, Jeff. Did you pick up anything?
I think feel your feelings.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's a good.
When Kemmer, we first meet Kemmer, she's suppressing everything, and I think they actually described that really well. How that happened when she was young, and she sucked. When she was doing that, she was a jerk. She wasn't open to hearing anything. And then when that egg her great egg was cracked, and the feelings started to escape, not her soul, but the feelings, she softened up. And oh gosh, someone said it over here in the council chambers chat. I can't see it right now, but they're like, Kemmer's hair had the biggest acting lift in this episode, but it kind of did. We saw her as a different person because she let herself feel the feelings.
Right.
Oh yeah, Suzanne says that.
I did think of one more message while you were talking there, Jeff.
Yeah.
And that's this. Always have somebody who's really good at composing a score.
For real. Yes.
That's a message for the episode.
Yeah, it wasn't her hair. It was Christopher Frankie who had the best
right.
This thing. Oh man. Well, Brent, let's shift to something a little more fun, maybe, hopefully. This week you have the honors. We're creating the definitive ranking of all these episodes, and as of today, we have a top 10. We're gonna have a top 11 at the end of this one. I'm gonna count down from in the middle on this one. Okay. And we'll see where it lands. I'm gonna start at number 8 as Mind War. Number 7, Midnight on the Firing Line. 6 is Born to the Purple. And number 5 is Parliament of Dreams. Number 4 is last week's Believers. Brent, where are you going to put Survivors?
Well, just to round out the bottom of that, number 9 is Infection and 10 is Soul Hunter. It is not going to crack any of those that you just discussed.
Okay,
there.
Wow.
I mean, Mind War is sitting at number 8, and I'll watch Mind War over this episode any day of the week.
Any day.
I like Midnight on the Firing Line. I think it's a good episode. Born to the Purple is so funny. Such a good episode. So yeah, I'm not placing this up there in that echelon. The question is it better or worse than Infection and or Soul Hunter.
Right.
Here's the thing. It might be not.
Yeah, I'd say might not be.
You know, in this watch, yours and mine's opinion of both Soul Hunter and Infection went up a little bit from the last time. I don't think our opinions of this episode went up at all.
No.
Maybe even went down a little bit.
The episode
or
as a
they
whole.
were just or we just doubled down on where we feel like they are. Here's the thing. Would I watch Infection again before watching this episode? And the answer is yes, I would. I really would. Because, oh my God, this episode. Would I watch Soul Hunter again before watching this episode? Jeff, I would.
Yeah.
This is our new number 11, all the way at the bottom. And I'm a little shocked to say that, although I do seem to remember this being in that batch of episodes down at the bottom where I kind of always say, hey, throw them all in a bag, shake them up and pull one out. And that's the right order you're going to be in, because none of them are great. But if I had to, this is where I'm going to place it. Number 11.
So in our definitive ranking at the end of the first time viewing, Soul Hunter was 23.
Yep.
Infection was 22, and Survivors was 17 between Midnight on the Firing Line and A Voice in the Wilderness Part 1.
What? Wow.
Yeah, Mind War was number 20.
Is this the first episode we've had then where our opinion of it has gone down?
I think so.
On a second view? Because I got to tell you, I've seen some of these comments from our council chambers. I think it was Ben. Yeah, Ben over here. He says, overall, I'd say this is the most season 1 episode that ever season 1'd.
Yeah.
You know, Becky says, I'm right there with you. Put this in a bag with Soul Hunter, and whichever one you grab out first is the worst. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I feel like I'm in good company. I feel like we are in good company there, Jeff, when we really throw this one all the way down at the bottom. And wow, what were we thinking in that? You know what it was because by the time we ranked this one, we were so far removed from it. So
it was almost unfair.
Really. Or you know, probably really what it was we were giving it that season 1 pass.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you and I are hey, listen, season 1 sci-fi is not really good. We'll give it a pass. You know, I would venture to say that was a benefit of the pass from that. So
I think that's fair. That's going to wrap up Survivors for us. Next week, we're going to watch By Any Means Necessary. Do you, Brent, remember your prediction for this one?
You know, Jeff, I don't.
No,
but here's what I know. You listened to our last episode, and so you do know. What was my prediction for the next episode?
Well, I'm going to say mine first, and then I have yours written down word for word.
Word for word. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to hear it.
So mine?
Yeah.
This will be another Home Guard episode, but we're going to see an organized alien resistance pushing back against them.
This is By Any Means Necessary.
By Any Means Necessary.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is the dock worker strike episode, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Where we get the little schmoozy strike breaker guy that comes in and all that sort of stuff.
We're also...
and this is where we get the really cool Sinclair solution.
Yes.
That I love. Oh, I love that. Oh,
we also get the Londo Jakar Jaquan Eth thing going on. Like
this one?
I think so. I think it is that one. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
We get this meme from Londo where he's waving his fingers.
It'll be fun after this one. So your prediction.
Oh, mine. Yeah.
Yeah, word for word. I have no idea.
Really? That's what I said?
That's what you said. Like, I have no idea.
Okay. I'll take it.
Which is a pretty safe way of doing it, I think.
Right.
Man. Cool. I think we're both looking forward to watching this one next week. Thanks for hanging out with us here this week. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you're watching or listening to us. Leave us a rating, a review. Share this show with somebody. Let's get more eyes on it and let people enjoy Babylon 5 for the first, second, and maybe even 47th time. So with that, I'm going to wrap up.
Hey, Jeff.
Yes, Brent, what is up?
Hey, I found the 100,000 credits.
The ducats?
No, the ducats.
No, ducats.
No, you mean the ducats.
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 It's ducat.
Ducat it.
Ducat.
Ducat.
Fold it up, put it sideways, and duck it.
D-U-cat.
Ducat, it's ducat.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. Ducat.
I mean, we're not some deep space franchise. This station is about something.
It is duck it, and that was a very Jacksonville thing to say.
Thank you for making up on that.